Hello and welcome to Home Capital's series on home ownership. Buying your first house can be a daunting task, and in this series, we simplify the entire process for you. With a clear understanding of the difference between a co owner and a co applicant and the pros and cons of each, let's do a deep dive into the various legal aspects of home ownership and the due diligence that you must do when you decide to buy a house. A legal due diligence is basically a process that will help you minimize the risk associated with a real estate transaction. Now, unlike any other investment that you would do in your career with respect to a financial instrument or otherwise, the legal risk associated with a real estate transaction is real and needs to be mitigated by doing a proper legal due diligence. When you place a fixed deposit with a bank or buy an equity share through the stock exchange, the chances that somebody is going to contest your ownership of these assets are minimal. Whereas there are a number of examples where real estate transactions have been contested and have got into litigations due to the lack of proper paperwork or many other reasons that we'll go through in this episode. Because of the real risk associated with a real estate transaction, it is extremely important that you seek a legal expert or a lawyer who specializes in real estate transactions to help you with the entire due diligence process before you finalize a property or finalize buying a home. Not paying adequate attention to this at the time when you are still making a decision whether to buy a particular home or not can actually result in you losing ownership of the house in the future or having to pay hefty penalties to retain the ownership for which you paid the full amount if your legal due diligence is not done correctly. To help you with this entire process, we've broken up the due diligence into three parts. The first part talks about the various documents that you must be aware of or you must ask for before you close the deal for buying a house. Let's look at some of the important documents here. The first step of your legal due diligence process before you proceed for home deal closure is settling the chain of deed or title. When purchasing a property, make sure that all the historical transfers of the land title are in order and there are no missing links. Your lawyer should be able to conduct a search in the registrar's office and courts to make sure that the title of the land is clear. You can establish successive transfer of land ownership for the past 30 years to ensure that there is no missing link in the ownership of the property. Even if you are buying a flat or an apartment in a multi-store complex, you must conduct the search to ensure that the developer or the promoter of the property has a clear title of the land on which the structure is being built. In addition to the search report that will be conducted by a lawyer, you must ask for the title clearance certificate from the builder. The next document you must look at is the joint development agreement. A joint development agreement comes into picture when the land is owned by a third party and the builder is the person who is investing his money to construct the particular structure which is going to be sold eventually. So here you are not dealing with a single person, but you're dealing with two people, one being the landowner, the person who's contributed the land for the project, and second being the builder or the developer, the person who is investing his money to construct the structure on the land which will eventually be sold to you. If you are buying a property which has such an arrangement, make sure that you ask for a copy of the joint develop agreement which would be registered in the registrar's office as well. Be very sure that you know who has the marketing rights over the flat or the apartment that you are purchasing, because the responsibilities between the person contributing the land and the builder are generally clearly demarcated to avoid any disputes in the future. When you are doing your due diligence, you can ask for a no objection certificate from the other party or more often than not, you will actually land up executing a tri-party agreement that will involve you as the home buyer, the developer or the builder of the property, and the landowner for such cases where you have joint development agreements between the landowner and the developer. The next set of documents you must look for are the no objection certificates. You must ask the developer for a no objection certificate from various authorities that they would have procured to avoid any legal hassles in the future. Some of the no objection certificates would include a NOC from the sewerage board, a NOC from the pollution board, from the traffic and coordination department, from the fire department, and from the environment department. There could be as many as 19 NOCs that have to be obtained by the developer, and the exact number would vary from project to project. After the NOCs come the IODs, or also known as intimation of disapproval. An IOD is basically a permission given to the developer by the local municipal authorities, and an IOD is given by the municipal authority only after he's obtained his NOCs from the various departments that we just talked about. These would include your environment, your tree authorities, your fire officers. It depends on the project, because if a project is situated near the coastal areas, you would need an NOC from the coastal authorities. If a project is situated in the area which is in the vicinity of the airport, you would need an NOC from the airport authorities. So the exact number would depend on the location of the project, but it's only after the NOCs are obtained that you go to the local municipality which governs the area in which the property is being set up and ask them for an intimation of disapproval. Here again, the developer may be required to meet up to 40 IODs before he can actually start construction of the property. Once the builder has got the NOCs and the IODs in place, that is when he is given the commencement certificate. A commencement certificate basically is a certificate issued by the local municipalities certifying that the builder can start construction at the location. The commencement certificate can be given in two stages: a commencement certificate up to the plinth level, and then a second commencement certificate for construction beyond the plinth level. So if you are buying a property which is under construction, it is important that you ask for copies of IODs, NOCs and the commencement certificate, so that you are very clear that the builder has got all his approvals in place, and tomorrow there will not be an issue with the construction itself not starting off because of lack of the requisite approvals. In addition to these documents, you must also obtain the sanctioned project plan by the authority before you decide to close a deal for buying a house. A sanctioned project plan basically is a copy of the building plan which has been approved by the statutory body, and that lays out the common areas, that lays out the plan with respect to each floor of the building which has been approved, so that when you are buying a particular flat on a floor, you can check that with the approved plan to confirm that it is in line with what has got approved by the regulatory authorities. In the next episode, we will talk about understanding the various aspects of a home loan. The Home Capital community assists and guides you successfully through your journey of home ownership. Join India's first community of home buyers and homeowners and take your next step towards home ownership.